Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about what it would take to set up affiliates or resellers or franchisees using your umbrella website. And you're just trying to set them up very quickly so that they can efficiently start doing whatever they need to do, handing out business cards, going about the business of getting you paid by extension. All right, so how would you go about that? Let's start with this idea. If you're starting with your website, maybe you've made changes to it and got it all set up. Perhaps you included some new pages and perhaps you put in the global variables. If you've been good and careful with your global variables, then you're going to find this extremely easy and wonderfully simple to go ahead and propagate to be able to set up other affiliates or resellers. So there are a couple of steps. First, the information needs changing, obviously. If you have a reseller, none of this information is for the reseller necessarily. If they're going to take the information in, maybe they go out and do the site evaluation on the roof themselves. They want to get credit for the leads. So we need to make it possible for them to send people to their website or to get people calling them or calling through their forwarding phone number to you, whatever it is. Okay, so we need to install a separate instance of your website on their domain. So let's just walk through how easy that would be. When you contact them or they contact, whenever you set up the arrangement, then they just need to give you some basic information, namely whatever would fit in your global variables. These and or any new ones that you came up with since that you felt were important and decided to get involved. Okay, so right now all of this is about you and we're going to make it about them. So first thing to consider is that there's a function called export as Excel. Okay, it's here and here, same button, right? Now, if you do that, it's going to export all of this into Excel for you as an Excel file, and you will have it. That acts like a backup, and you can also make edits in the Excel file and then import it again. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of what that would look like. Say we did the export. I already did it. I'm just going to go ahead and open it. It only takes a few seconds. Okay, this is what it looks like. Same information, website title, variable code, code value, title, code value. I'm going to extend that. Okay, and it goes all the way down through address, full, and the full address. Address, full, and the full address. So when you export this, that's what it does. It creates this Excel file, and when you open it, it looks like this. Great, now I have all the information I need. Can I save it? Sure. Can I make a copy of it? Sure. And what if I open my copy? Can I fill it in with somebody else's values? Yes. Say I got this information from my reseller. Let's call him Wilson. He wants to do Wilson Roofing, and he's got his own phone number. Okay. And so what are we going to do for him? Let me see if I can go ahead and extend this, make it a little larger so it's easier to see. So we're going to have wilsonroofing.com, for example. We're going to have Wilson Roofing's his company. That's his regular phone number. Here's for SMS. Maybe it's a different phone number. Maybe it's the same. Now, this could be his email address unless you wanted to forward questions to you. Maybe he'd rather that the questions came straight to you, but he needs credit. Sure. So you would just simply set up a separate Gmail account with his name on it. Okay. That way, when you get emails through this Gmail account or have them forwarded to you, then you'll know to give him credit for the clients coming through him. Okay. Now, who's going to be the administrator for the website? Could be you. All right. Now, here we go. Address line 1 might be his address, right? Let's go ahead and make this like that. Okay. And then here's the city, state, and zip, and his whole address. Okay. So far, so good. So we have his information, and what we want to do now is use his information long enough to create his website and then go back to our own information, because this will only take a couple of minutes. We can do this in the middle of the night. Okay, how do we do it? I'll show you. Okay, don't really need to save changes to that. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to import that file we just created. Now keep in mind, this is my pointer, right? My arrow. If I put the tip of my pointer on the button, then I don't even need to do all of this. There's a faster way. Watch this. I'm going to click the sample Excel file and I'm going to drag it in. And I'm going to put the pointer of my arrow right somewhere in the button and let go. There we go. It shows it right here. It's a shortcut to using this kind of a button. Works very often, okay? For most things out there on the internet, not just us. All right, I'm going to import. It's going to overwrite the values. There you go. All the values just got overwritten, which means if I go to the website and refresh it, all of the values just got overwritten. Everything is now about him, not about us, okay? So there you have it. So if I go to any of these particular pages and start looking things over, I'm going to find all of this is about him, not about us, okay? So this is totally useful, all right? Now, what do I want to do? I want to export that to his exact website, okay? By the way, here's why the one value is still not updated, because I should have updated it in 2 places, okay? There we go. So yeah, you can do this even in combinations. It's pretty useful, right? There you go. That looks better, right? Okay. Now we're going to export this website to him. There's 2 ways. Either we can give him a zip file, which will be, export to HTML as a zip file. So we'll just give it a sensible name, Wilson Roofing, say. Right? We're going to allow Google indexing, right? So when he uploads it, Google can say yes to it, or don't allow it. If you only want yours to show up in Google, but his, you don't want it to show up in Google, you want him handing out cards, then you can set it up that way. It's totally up to you, okay? So if you set these radio buttons like that, that's the most common thing to do. Often you're going to allow it. Okay, so you're just going to say export, okay? And what that does, like I said, is totally create his website in a zip file, right? There you go. So I could show this in the folder. Now just see what it is. And there we have it, his website. It's small enough, you could email it to him as an attachment. It's just 4.5 meg. Okay, now let's go a further step, because what would he do? He'd take that and upload it to his website. He'd go into his cPanel, go into the file manager, go into the public HTML folder, upload it and extract it. Now, if he knows how to do that, that's great. Say he doesn't. Well, there's something you can do. You can buy domain names so that you own the properties yourself. You don't have to let him have it. You can make it easier on him by owning it yourself, which is also an advantage for you. If Bob Wilson over there doesn't happen to do a great job, you could reassign the website to somebody else if you really want, okay? So it really just boils down to who owns it. Here's how this works. Websites work in this format, domain.com or .net or .org. And therefore, to get access to where you can upload files, you put /cpanel. That gets you into the cPanel. And on our system, that's always common, cPanel. And then all you need to log in is a username and a password. So if you can go here and you know those 2 items, you can get in to deal with the files. So in the case of this domain name, here's an example. That would be the domain name, BennettRoofing.com. And therefore, BennettRoofing.com/cPanel would be what you would use to get to the cPanel. Copy. There is no Bennett Roofing. But if there were, that's how you would do it. Okay. Then there's the username and the password. For example, if they were real, this isn't real. And you'd immediately be able to log in, and you could do it yourself. You could upload the zip file yourself. Here's even a further step. Let's say you already know what the website is. Let's say you know this much all by yourself already. He gave it to you or you got it, okay? So I'll show you how that works. Let's say we're gonna upload to FTP. That's File Transfer Protocol. Now, we're just going to do what it says. We're going to put in the website just simply like that with nothing else. Let's use just a dummy website that we happen to have for this test, emoji-samples.com, okay? And the username is what it is, okay? And the password is whatever it is, okay? And we can connect to it. There you go. Where do all the files go to make the website live? Public HTML folder. When I click the words, it will show up right here is the place we're going to connect to. If I do not hit the words, if I hit the folder, I can browse inside and go deeper. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go to here, because we want to make the website live right on the front page. Okay, that's our idea. All the extra stuff like creating a new folder and putting instances there, more advanced. All right, let's take a look at what it looks like right now. Okay, and here it is. There's nothing there. Now again, if you had a zip file, you could go to /cpanel, and if you knew the username and the password, you could log in. Okay, and you could go and deal with the files. And if you do know that, you don't have to do it manually. You can just simply, do it here. So you can just put the information here, connect, click on public HTML, and then just suddenly upload. Boom. That's it. Say yes. We are sure we want to do that. And it's not going to take long. See, files export start. Connected, now uploading to the server, and literally everything is being uploaded one at a time until, oh, it's done. Now that was it. What's that mean? That means if I go to that main page, right back, and I refresh it, there you go. So now we got his whole website up. It looks great. Everything's good to go. It's all there. It's all ready for him. This will work for the email address you chose to use. All the inner pages are going to work. Everything's there. And what that means, of course, is he's raring to go. He can get started doing his job. Okay? So yeah, you can do all that kind of thing quickly. And guys who take it to an extreme, right, what they do when they're setting this up is they come out with more global variables. They use them for social media, like they'd add one for YouTube, your YouTube videos if people had different ones. They'd add it for your Facebook if people had different ones. Your Twitter, that kind of thing. So it's just whatever you think makes sense, but you can go ahead and make that kind of an offer to affiliates and set them up. You might say, hey, pay $1,000 setup fee and I'll get you started with all your stuff online, and you'll own this right to be my affiliate in that area. Go ahead and take off with it. Anything you need, we'll back you up and start getting you commissions. There you go. That's how you set up affiliates and resellers, because you can do it area by area, and you can just make changes to the Excel file. You can even send them the copy of the Excel file and just tell them to fill in their details. So you could just send them the sample, for example. Let me give you that idea, right? You could literally ask them to fill this in. Just replace these values with their own values and then send you that file. And then that way you can go ahead and set it up for them. By the way, last thing I want to point out, website installer, if you want to get those domains for them so that you can make sure the whole process is effortless, you can do that. Choose your category. There is cPanel with SSL. Okay. And if you go to it, this is just a dummy. It will only install a dummy page letting you know the cPanel is ready. Get details. Okay. And so you can get that, and you can literally pay for it on a subscription if you want. You could select 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and you would be paying $8.82 a month for 12 months to have the hosting for them. That way, you can export your own versions of the website across just the way we did with that sample website. And that way you could set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as 10 different resellers for less than $100 a month. Okay, that's pretty cool. So there you go. Those options exist. And just wanted to let you know you had that level of control. And yeah, this is completely fair. If you're paying 50 bucks all at once, then you're getting the equivalent of what is normally $85 worth of hosting, and we just charge 50 per year. So it's unavoidably a great deal. And we include a $75 secure secure second layer or security certificate free, which is HTTPS, and that allows Google to rank you higher. That's exactly this idea here. It allows Google to rank you higher, and it also allows your customers to feel safe making transactions on your website where they are putting in their own information to make any kind of a purchase. Okay, so there you have it. Value add, totally without question, this is a great way to do it, and it automates as much as possible for you so that your life becomes incredibly easy, but gives you the freedom to make changes to whatever it is that you would like to make changes to in your website, so that when you do go setting up your franchisees or affiliates or resellers or partners, it's not hard to do that. And then what you would do when you're all done is just drag your own information back in for yourself so that your website is instantly right back to where it should be, because now it's your website back to where you should be for you. All the phone numbers and everything else throughout the website are about you. Google Maps about you. Everything is about you. Okay? All right. Hope you find this interesting. Looking forward to serving you, and give us a call or shoot us a text if you have any questions. By the way, on the main page of Website Installer, you can always ask us a question there. If we're offline, then just simply shoot us an email here through the same interface, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right. Thank you very much, and looking forward to helping you out.